The midpoint of the 1989 chase to the championship comes under the glowing sunshine at Rockingham, North Carolina. Appropriately, it's the Sunshine Nationals in mid-June. Great competition at the Rockingham Dragway. In round one of funny bike competition, Steve Tracy and Bobby Baker taking on one another. Tracy qualified number 5, the first event of the year in which Steve Tracy has not been the number 1 qualifier. Bobby Baker is the number 1 qualifier at the Rock. Baker on his Kawasaki in the right lane, Tracy on his advanced plating Suzuki in the left lane, and Tracy's bike broke. Bobby Baker, the number 1 qualifier, advances to the next round at 191 miles an hour. Terry Kaiser and David Britt. With Kaiser in the right lane on his Suzuki, Britt on his Kawasaki in the left lane. Britt got away at the light first, but Kaiser got the win at the other end. Britt got away first because he had a red light. Kaiser running 180 miles an hour. Steve Drake in the right lane, the number 2 qualifier on his Suzuki, racing Chris Iovine, who got into the field as an alternate when another funny bike broke. But Chris Iovine's day is ended early as Steve Drake takes the win at 188 miles an hour. Bill Timmons and Rusty Quesenberry, the final pair in the funny bike quarterfinals. And it's Bill Timmons getting the win, moving to the semis with the 756 at 165 miles an hour. The first pair in round one of Pro Comp, Jim Argo in the left lane, the number 1 qualifier. Lester Jenkins in the right lane, the number 9 qualifier aboard his Big Blue Kawasaki. But Lester Jenkins took himself out of the race early with a red light, and Jim Argo advances to the next round. Arthur Ford aboard his Suzuki from Atlanta in the right lane, taking on Fred Hall from Fort Lauderdale in the Suzuki in the left lane. Fred Hall knew he needed a good tree to have a chance against Arthur Ford. He tried too hard to get it and got the red light. Arthur Ford, the winner. Dennis Strickland in the right lane, the number 11 qualifier, taking on Dwight Selden, the defending Pro Comp champion, in the left lane. Dwight Selden gets the win. Dennis Strickland, once again, got a red light. Red lights, the rule of the day so far in Pro Comp. Willie Foster in the right lane and Dave Cartwright in the left lane. They'll try to avoid making the tree turn red. Cartwright on his Suzuki, Foster also riding a Suzuki. But Foster had the red light, and Dave Cartwright gets the easy win. Tony Lang, the number 10 qualifier. Jim Smith in the left lane, the number 2 qualifier. Will there be another red light at the start? Not this time. This time it's a race to the finish, with Tony Lang getting there first at 160 miles an hour. Don Plesser is on the Kawasaki in the right lane. Dennis Hinton on the Suzuki in the left lane. Again, both racers away under green. The race will be decided at the finish line instead of at the start, where Dennis Hinton gets the win, a 792 at 165 miles an hour. Jim Bernard in the right lane to race James Doherty on the Big Blue Kawasaki in the left lane. Doherty from Cocoa, Florida, gets the win at 170 miles an hour. The number 16 qualifier, Wayne Elkins, is in the right lane to take on number 8 qualifier, John Sachs. They're both riding Suzukis. And it's Elkins Suzuki that crosses the finish line first at 163 miles an hour. He advances. Round one of Pro Stock. David Schultz and Norman Devine providing our first pair. Devine, an alternate who got into the field when somebody else's bike broke. Schultz, the number 1 qualifier. Norman Devine got the red light, trying too hard to get a good tree, and Dave Schultz advances to the next round. Lance Boyer, the number 3 qualifier, is in the right lane on his Suzuki, taking on Charlie Gressman, also aboard a Suzuki. And it's Lance Boyer winning at 166 miles an hour, advancing to the next round. John Myers, the number 2 qualifier, takes on Larry Greenlaw, an alternate who got into the field when somebody else's bike broke. He'll advance to the next round because John Myers got the red light. Larry Greenlaw is still in this thing. Paul Gast and Keith Gray up next. Gast in the right lane, Gray in the left lane. Gray the number 8 qualifier, Gast the number 4 qualifier. Keith Gray has had some very good runs on this bike this weekend. But it's Paul Gast getting the win in this confrontation with an 8:17 at 161 miles an hour. The semifinals among the funny bikes at the Sunshine Nationals. Bill Timmons and Steve Drake. Timmons on the left on his Kawasaki from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Steve Drake from Xenia, Ohio, riding his Kawasaki in the right lane. Drake qualified number 2, Timmons qualified number 4. Timmons gets the win, and a good one, a 7:36 at 187 miles an hour. Bobby Baker and Terry Kaiser in the other funny bike semifinal run. And Terry Kaiser won it with a 7:13 at 189 miles an hour. So Terry Kaiser will face Bill Timmons in the funny bike finals at the Sunshine Nationals. The quarterfinals in Pro Comp. Althor Ford will face Jim Argo. 8 bikes remain going for the Sunshine Nationals Pro Comp Championship. Ford is on the right side. Argo is on the left side. 2 very powerful motorcycles and 2 very good riders. It's Althor Ford who wins at 173 miles an hour. Dwight Selden's Kawasaki and Dave Cartwright's Suzuki. Cartwright on the right, Selden on the left. And it's Dwight Selden winning at 168 miles an hour. Tony Lang versus Dennis Hinton. Lang on the right on his Suzuki, qualified number 10. Hinton on the left on his Suzuki, qualified number 6. The bikes running very similar times. Hinton with slightly more power through the weekend, and he maintains that advantage, winning there at 166 miles an hour. Wayne Elkins, the number 16 qualifier, and James Doherty, the number 4 qualifier, going for the final remaining spot in the Pro Comp semis. James Doherty works his way into the semis at 161 miles an hour. The Pro Stock semifinals, with Lance Boyer set to face David Schultz. David Schultz on the Eagle One Kawasaki. Boyer in the right lane from Pickerington, Ohio, on the Boyer Racing Suzuki. Schultz, the defending Pro Stock champion in the IDBA. Boyer, one of the top 10 Pro Stock racers a year ago. This race belongs to Dave Schultz with a 7:92 at 169 miles an hour. Larry Greenlaw, the alternate who's worked his way into the semis, is in the left lane, facing Paul Gast. And Larry Greenlaw gets a big win with an 8:28 at 157 miles an hour. To the semifinals in Pro Comp, with Althor Ford racing Dwight Selden. That's Althor Ford on his Suzuki. Dwight Selden won the race with a 7:78 at 167 miles an hour. Dennis Hinton and James Doherty faced off in the other semifinal in Pro Comp. And it was Doherty winning with a 7:88 at 166 miles an hour. Both racers showing excellent reaction times. To the finals in pro stock, David Schultz, the #1 qualifier, is knocked off by Larry Greenlaw. Larry Greenlaw, the alternate, who worked his way all the way to the finals, won when David Schultz, the defending IDBA Pro Stock champion, took a red light. The Pro Comp Finals with Dwight Selden, the defending Pro Comp champion, facing James Daugherty of Cocoa, Florida. And Dwight Selden took the win with a 776 at 169 miles an hour. Too much power, even though Daugherty had the better reaction time at the start. The Funny Bike Finals with Terry Kaiser versus Bill Timmons. Terry Kaiser, the defending Funny Bike champion in the IDBA, looking for his first win of the 1989 campaign. And he got it. Terry Kaiser with a 748 running 175 miles an hour. Bill Timmons, trying too hard to get a good light, got a red light instead. The chase to the championship continues. Midway through the 1989 season, the IDBA competition is proving to be better in '89 than ever before. If you'd like more information about the best motorcycle drag racing in the world, contact the International Drag Bike Association or call the IDBA membership order line at 1-800-553-IDBA. The Firecracker Nationals in Columbus, Ohio. The Summer Nationals in Ontario, Canada. The Fall Nationals in Norwalk, Ohio. And the World Finals at the new Atlanta Dragway in Atlanta, Georgia. These races will be featured in Volume 2 of the 1989 Chase to the Championship. Order yours today.